me, Jake Bevins. Pickles. Thought we'd get started a little early today. Yesterday, all I wanted to do was jam. So today, we will jam. Like a jar of jelly. Jelly jam. Jam the jellies. How do I look? I look great. Wonderful. Alright, hold on. First things first, though. I gotta... We don't have like a good, the regular vacuum got all stuck, right? Because they do that, you know? Sometimes they suck too much and they just blow. So, and a shop vac, right? The shop vac isn't really good for carpet. So what I'll do is I'll sweep up the carpet, a little silly, a little goofy. Kind of all about, and then I'll go about my room and do the thing with the shop vac, right? Because it works pretty well on cement, right? This is my plank. No, I'm not like Johnny from Ed and Eddie. It's mahogany, hardwood floor, solid piece. We have more pieces in the other room, but right now, I just wanted to have just wanted to demonstrate my hardwood. Okay, so nonsense. Had a bowl opener last night. There's this little table on the outside of my door, and I put all my dishes on it. I'm kind of lazy sometimes, on occasion. I try not to be so lazy, but I laze about like a lazy thing that's very lazy. I try not to slouch. You know, nobody likes a slouch, but kind of a slouch. But I don't want to be a grouch. Oh, hold up. That's, mute that, there we go. I've yet to change out my work clothes yet again because I'm a slouch. But it's alright. Probably G2, black, good pen. This is a green lighter. Kinda looks like, I don't know what that looks like. What do you think it looks like? Let's just smoke my cigarettes, which are not in my pocket. Oh, I have some like, yeah, definitely toothpaste. A little weird, but I'll let me finish. So I had to get it all off. I didn't like them. I had to make sure. Okay. Well, I got some like weird shit like right there. Kind of bad. I really like this. Man got this for me. I did not go to Iowa State. I went to a community college. Dropped out. But you know, we tried our best, right? Today we will jam tracks until I feel sick, because I feel like I got some riffs really like piling up in the back of my head. Of all these ideas, I've been thinking about all these bands, listening to. Actually, I haven't really been listening to much different music. I built this. Put a couple. I made like a playlist right on Apple Music, and I've been kind of running that back. In case you guys haven't seen, Drip, Custom Seiko, Jubilee bracelet. So I was doing some on my Uber ride home from work today, right? I was going over Reddit, of course. You know, I gotta stay current with events. I think current events are very important. I think everybody should dedicate, you know, at least some time, you know, every couple of days, maybe even like once a week. But stuff changes so quickly, you know, with the internet and shit, like super highways and airplanes and shit. Like shit's just going all sorts of whack, right? That's Gemini. Hey, what scale goes? Hold on, my headphones are on. 1 second. Okay, what scale goes half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step?
Isn't a standard musical scale. It kind of resembles the diminished scale, which alternates half steps and whole steps consistently, but your pattern ends with 2 whole steps, which throws it off. Standard major scales follow whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Is there a particular piece of music you encountered this pattern in?
No, it was just something I'm working on. What about switch? What other, excluding the last 2 notes of my pattern, what scales would that fall into?
Gotcha. If we leave off those last 2 whole steps, your pattern starts half whole, half whole, half whole. That's actually the exact beginning of the half whole diminished scale you might have been thinking of earlier. It's a symmetrical scale widely used in jazz. Are you looking to create something with that kind of sound, or maybe something different?
No, it was just something I was kind of stumbled upon earlier. Let me double check and make sure I got these notes right. So we go half, whole, half. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. see. Okay, so are there any scales that start with? Are there any scales that start with a half step into a whole step?
Definitely. The most common one is the half-whole diminished scale. It alternates half steps and whole steps consistently. So the first two intervals are There are also other scales like
What if I
scales
said,
and
hold on,
harmonic
are there any
minor.
scales
They
that
can start
start,
that
hey,
way.
stop. Are there any scales that start with a flattened second?
Yes, many scales do. The most common one is the Phrygian mode, which is like a natural minor scale with the second note lowered. You also see it in scales like the double harmonic major or some Middle Eastern scales. Is there a particular sound you're looking?
Okay. What, this guy knows music theory? I know quite a bit, about music theory. Not even say I'm practiced, trained, and studied. Okay, so we go half, whole. Oh, except it's missing that. Because it's Phrygian. There's no 4 either. Probably repetition or something. Let me see. So if I was to, I wonder if Gemini could do this for me. So we have a D, D sharp, F, right? D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and C, back to B, or you could do either or there, and then this would go, so we go 0, 2, 3, 5, 0, 2, 3, 5, D, 6, 7, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, I put too many D's, huh? Right? Oh, hold on, I fucked up. A, B, C, D, D sharp. Interesting. Is it right? Am I crazy? I don't think there's no F, right? F sharp. Yeah, there's no F. F sharp. Wait, no, hold on. D sharp. D sharp, E. Oh, yeah, sure. Wait, what the fuck? Sorry, sometimes math gets a little tough for me, right? I'm trying to think, right? Definitely wrote out the wrong one first time. I need a music stand. That'd be real nice. So we got D, D sharp, And then we go up 2 steps. F. F sharp. G sharp. A. A's on C. From there, it doesn't really matter. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be 0. Doesn't matter. 0. Let's go straight to the 5. 6. 8. 9. 11. 0. Oh hey, sorry I didn't. I just looked. This is just drop D. I discovered right. Like I'm the first guy to play a scale. Something new the other day. It's kind of like a Phrygian with a flat fifth. Might be totally different, let's flat fifth and a flat sixth and a flat all flats, huh? I imagine if I just, because this uses all the notes I don't use, right? So if I just play all the notes I don't use on the other one, right, it kind of makes sense, because you normally would go, D minor. So if I just use, that was weird. I'm gonna have to build. I used to have these like note charts. I feel that. That's how I used to be. During my first like 10 years of playing. I didn't really know too much too much understanding of music theory, right? But then one day, I got sick of learning other people's music. Not that I ever really learned other people's music. And I just wanted to, like, I'm like, how do I just, like, jam, right? I just want to jam. And I learned that, you know, I can just take a scale, and then I just memorize the scale, and then I just, you know, I memorize all the notes of that scale, and then I just go from there. You know, it's pretty cool, it's fun. It helps out a lot, but it kind of limits me, because I'm only playing, like, one key over an entire piece, right? And I really want to, what I've been trying to focus on a little bit is some, like, modular interchange, and or, you know, like, borrowed chords and stuff like that. I know it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but, because you need, like, take a standard progression, right? A minor, C and G, right? Let's take a random chord. Let's see, can we just throw in an F sharp? Comes out a little harsh, but if you go back, right? Actually, something better. I feel like it's just really harsh, though. What about minor? Diatonic. 2. I just learned some patterns, and then I just, you know, apply it to the rest of it. Like any major, you know, let's use, like I was doing F sharp major. It's gonna be F sharp major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. I played a minor there, but I don't know the diminished chord shape. I think it's, no, that's a 7th. Oh wait, yeah, I do. I learned, no, that's a diminished 7th. Kind of a weird chord, sounds a little lank. Yes, it is very, very, very useful for improvising. 100%. 100%. Let's get to the fun stuff.
I need to build a camp. Darn, not enough wood.
I need to get laid.
No, stop hitting me, you darn snowman. That was close. Oops, I missed some.
I don't mean that. I get laid all the time.
I gotta go get some extra wood to build this tower. Eat my arrows.
My balls are something funky? Like, I do not smell funky, you know?
inspired by pictures, videos. One thing I love to do too is draw the songs and do the dance to it.
So one thing I like to do is, you know, be a cool guy. Now, a few things I've been working on for a little bit, right? I don't quite know, exactly how I want to phrase it out. I think they're all, pretty. It's like the same pattern. It's in different places, if you shit your pants, be sure to take a shower, Because that's bad, and wash your pants off. Alright, we're gonna keep it coming, because I don't want to stop. Or lose the juice, Nothing worse than losing the juice. You gotta keep the juice hot, keep the juice in the oven. Let's see what this is. Or that's a little bit hard. We got some, I don't know what that is. Yellow Dunlap Tortex. It's a 0.7, I think. 1.4. What was I just I was using the purple, right? I don't like too thin because then I don't get those thick chugs. Somewhat of a purist. About it. Let's finish it. No, we'll get one more. best, right? We're all doing our best. Metalcore. I don't know how I feel about that. Why does it say 110 or 1.5? Is it AI? It's probably AI, isn't it? Subscribe on that. I liked how it went from like the electronic kit back into like the full kit. I thought that was really cool. I haven't really heard that before. Well, I guess I have, but like not.
With Vinted, Kayla can easily earn extra cash.
I pretty much am only.
She just has to list and sell what she doesn't wear, all with zero.
This guy ain't right? I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm really stuck on that. I'm not sure if it's just because I really enjoy it, or if I just can't like think of a new think of something new, right? I think it is. It probably is. I'm sorry if I it's just, it's so really like, it's like heavy and like hits really hard. It has like a lot of impact to it, you know. I really enjoy it. It's not loud enough. You guys feel like it's not loud enough? I feel like it's not loud enough. I'm trying to get better at guitar. I'm doing my practice, you know. I know there's like a bunch of people out there that are all like, man, this guy's like, what's he doing with his life? And it's like, I don't know, man. I cook chicken at Hawaiian Bros, and I'm hoping my streaming career takes off, right? You know, I've been here for a long time. Not here specifically, right? I've been existing for 35 years, right? And throughout my existence, I've done some stuff, and I haven't done other stuff, you know. I want to get a fat bag of money so I can help out my friends and family and pay people back. Although I really don't owe too many people too much money, but I feel like I owe them for like giving me jobs or like a place to stay or like, you know, feeding me or like, you know, being there for me when I'm like, you know, down and out and shit, or, you know, like finding bags or like hitting me up with the plug or like, you know, coming through, you know, or like taking me to parties or the bar, like having friendships and shit, you know, like friends, man, like, is that friends? I have a couple friends. Actually I have kind of a lot of friends, and I really want to have a big barbecue with slip and slides, you know. Maybe we'll have like hot dogs and shit. Probably burgers. I like burgers too. Don't you hate that sound? That's just the most obnoxious thing to hear. Isn't it really difficult to go from a really fast tempo to Mary Had a Little Lamb? That was that Baba Black Sheep. Let's turn down the metronome a Dan, did you just play some open cards? Yes, he did. And I know. I've been practicing for a long time. I spent drop D, right? That my favorite scale is, minor scale. Right, and then you just take all those notes, right? And you just learn to play them on all the other strings, so you can go. It's really not too hard after, once you get it down. Someone's wiped their ass. Is that just me? There's no way that's me, right? It's like, what are you smelling then? It's like, I don't know. You guys think it's possible for, humans to share experiences, right? And it's like, well, yeah, obviously, they can talk about it. I'd be like, hey, man, the other day, I was, what was I doing? I can't remember. It was bad, though. I was looking into the FCC today, right? And I don't know if I agree with everything they do. I understand the ideals and the principles behind why the FCC was created, right? But I feel like it's kind of a misrepresentation anymore. A misuse of power, perhaps. And as an independent government agency, I don't believe they should, have to listen to anybody. We should just be rogue, out there, balls out, all the time. That's a bad take. Hold on, let me fix that. What is the FCC? Federal Communications Commission, right? And they are. We'll do this in a little bit. I'm gonna finish jamming. I'm enjoying myself. I am an independent organization, aren't I? How the circus he does that. That's probably one of my favorites. I guess if I just figure out what chart, because D minor only has one accidental. And that is A sharp. And the scale I was working on does not have an A sharp. That's, I don't know if it's a real scale. I mean, yes. That's not really cool. It's really like. That sounds really trebly. It's because I have the treble up, and the guitar is a treble instrument. You know, it's a. You might not believe this, but you know the frequency range it sits in puts it more towards myself, you know. Like, I really like the bass turned up because I don't have any other, you know, like musicians or instruments. Like, if I had a bass player, right? I wouldn't sit here, you know, with a really like mid-scooped sound, right? I do love scooping the mids though. It's fine. So, scoop the mids all over. Maybe not like in a mix though, you know. Maybe. I don't know how it would sound. Well, I guess your guitar wouldn't really like sound. It would just sound like. I don't know. I need to go see more metal shows and see what happens. Hey, you guys scooping your mids. No mids at all. I think it's a unique, you know, like dichotomy, right? Like, are high frequency noises like pleasing to the ear? Right, some can be, right? I suppose it depends on like the like texture, right, or the. Sorry, I can't get my finger in there. I'm got a lovely sound. Listen to these chords, guys. I don't know if you really. You know, we try different voicing, right? You know, just. You never know what will happen, you know. Alright, what I need to learn is how to, because like if I do the same shape, right, it's just gonna be, if I do something crazy like this, oh, can I do something crazy like that? Can I stretch my hand? Oh, that's way crazy. I've always enjoyed his work. attack I want, but I'm not really going for like attack. I'm going for like a. Hate how this volume knob is in my goddamn way. It sticks itself in the way. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Sorry, give me a second. Just need to put 15. Okay. You guys like movies? Last movie I watched was it's either The Ninth Gate, Johnny, or it's probably probably definitely a Marvel. Actually, it was Fantastic Four. Which I didn't think it wasn't bad, but like I'm not like they went back and forth too much, you know. I really like when movies like the scene like doesn't change, the camera just like follows them, right, and then they're like into the next scene, right. Creates a sense of like continuity, and you really like grow attached, you know. When I call them quick cuts, not quick cuts, but like it's like shit YouTubers using shit, TikTokers, whatever. I do long form discussion. Oh wait, shit, is my phone gonna die? Yes it is. Okay, hold up. Let me get the juice. Got the juice. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'll try with both, right? Can't see my feet, right? Okay, good. I'm gonna take my socks off because I think I've. Oh jeez. I'm losing bounds. I don't know if it's me or if like someone shit their pants or like if pants shit, you know. But don't look at my feet. You can look at my feet if you want to. I got some sock lint on them. Does that happen to anybody else? I've had these socks for like 3 years, and they still leave lint on my toes. And I'm like, how's that happen? How's that possible? I don't think it's me. 100% don't think it's me. I was like, what are you smelling then? It's like, I have no fucking idea. But it's bothering me. Greatly. And I'm like, how's that possible? You know, people should take showers, you know. I don't shower, but at least I don't smell. I was like, how's that possible? It's like, well, I don't sweat that much, and I wear deodorant. we should all do our best, you know. Hygiene is literally godliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness, you know. And we should, you know, keep it classy, keep it clean, right? Anyways, I also don't like when I leave my hair ties on my wrist. It's kind of funny because it's like you have a watch on, but those don't like. See, my watch doesn't do that, right? My watch is loose, but not too loose. Have a small amount of movement, right? I feel like my hand looks swollen. I do have eczema. But okay. I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversation. All my friends, they're turning green. Magicians, apprentice in their dreams. Oh, they come unstuck. Oh, lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your light, and man, I love you when you're singing that song. And I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing these words wrong. There's this movie that I think you'll like. This guy decides to quit his job, he heads to New York City. I'm picking up my strumming pattern. It's something I'm still working on, so please forgive me, but oh, they come unstuck. And lady, I miss my fucking, one second. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you're singing that song. And I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing these words wrong. Come on, little twain, I'm sorry. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you're singing that song. And I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing these words wrong. Oh, lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you're singing that song. And I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing these words wrong. Oh, lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you when you sing that song. Yeah, I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing these words wrong. It'll get better, I promise. I'm sorry, that was kind of weak. I think you get the general idea. I haven't practiced my finger picking lately, so it's like comes out really hard. My rays are coming out. I need thicker strings as well. Sounds like Lucky. Anybody else hungry? Kind of hungry. Wanted to do some study on the FCC. I also wanted to do some more jam tracks or pro tracks. I also wanted to. I want to do a lot of stuff, you know. I got the next 2 days off though, so I think. Let's do one more. Got one more. Got one more in the kitchen, right? Anybody remember those? It's dun 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 dun. How do I They might have too many notes. I don't know. Not you know that. It's like such a simple like little riff there, but I have no idea what it is. How long will I slide? Just separate my side. I don't believe it's bad when slitting my throat is all I ever heard your voice through a photograph. And thought it brought up the past. And once you know it, you can never go back. I gotta take it on the other side. Centuries are what it meant to me. A cemetery where I'm buried the sea. Stranger things could never change my mind. I gotta take it on the other side. I gotta take it on. I'm gonna take it on. How long will I slide? Just separate my side. I don't believe it's bad when slitting my throat is all I ever pour my life into a paper cup. The ashtray's full and I'm spilling my guts. She wants to know if I'm still a slut. I gotta take it on the other side. Scarlet starlet and she's in my bed. Candidate for my soulmate blood. Push the trigger and I pull the thread. I gotta take it on the other side. Gotta take it on. I'm gonna take it on. How long will I slide? Just separate my side. I don't believe it's bad when slitting my throat is all I ever had. How long? I don't believe it's fair. And slitting my throat is all I ever ever had. I'm still working on these covers a lot. I don't have like a solid, groundwork. Well, I got the, like obviously. I try my best, I try my best. I practice, I train, I study, always a student. I try not to, be a jackass, right? Always want to be polite, respectful, and do the best I can. I feel like I got a lot of potential, and I just need to keep at it. One day I'm going to be famous on YouTube, and it'll be great. This is my piece of wood flooring. It's mahogany, hardwood. It's a full plank, not particle board. It's pretty sick. I like it a lot. I got a lot more. Well, not a lot more. We got it. My aunt got it, but I like to, pretend like I have a stack of mahogany wood flooring, and kind of it'd be real nice to put down on this cement floor, right? I don't know how to do the edges though, like the edges of the wall, right? I don't understand like trim, right? You gotta use some trim, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck is trim? How do we put it on there? I haven't done much carpentry in my time, but you'll probably watch some YouTube videos and figure it out. Because I imagine you would just get it as close as you can to like, obviously there's the frame there for the wood braces that keep the wall straight, right? Then this has the, I forgot what it's called, the guard something. I want to go through and repaint it. Get everything repainted again. I don't know if I want to, after, we get it painted, because there's like, I've got something over here. This stuff, right? I don't know if I should touch it with my hands. I think it's safe. I'm pretty sure I looked it up once. Because I know, like, regular insulation, like, it's like fiberglass and shit, but this is like a giant piece of really dense foam. Anyway, there's a bunch of this between the drywall and the cinder block. I think this stuff is too thick, though. I think cutting it down to size would be really... I guess it won't be that hard, but... That's like 2/3 of the wall, and the ceilings and stuff are already packed, right? But it's like, it won't hurt, right? Maybe. Does that help keep it cool? Some project ideas, right? Kind of want a cigarette really bad. Hey, what's up? How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Just here and ready to help if you need anything. How about you?
I'm doing quite fantastic. I'm a little bit tired. It's 7:34 on a Wednesday. I got the next 2 days off. I got off work, not too long ago. And then I was like, I just want to jam, so I just finished jamming. And then I had I saw an article regarding the FCC, and I was really curious as to when were they founded and what were they founded for.
Oh, nice choice for a bit of curiosity. The FCC was created back in 1934 through a law called the Communications Act. Its main purpose was to combine all the federal regulation of telephone, telegraph, and radio communications under one agency, and to make sure these services operated in the public interest. Is there anything specific about their role that caught your attention?
Can you just repeat that? Dude, who smells like ass? The fuck does that mean?
Sorry about that. Basically, it means they're in charge of making sure things like radio, TV, and the internet are running fairly and accessible to everyone, and that companies aren't doing things that hurt people. Does that make a little more sense?
I find it hard to believe it's me. Because I would smell myself. Why does it drift in and out?
Yeah, a big governmental group like that can feel really removed. But they actually impact a lot of things you might use every day, like regulating the cell phone network so your calls work, or making sure there's closed captioning on TV. Did any particular part of what they do seem questionable to you?
Yes. Are they under the jurisdiction of any particular branch or authority?
The FCC is an independent agency, meaning it doesn't report directly to the president or any specific department. Instead, they're accountable to Congress, which oversees them and provides their funding. The commissioners are appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate, but they're supposed to act independently. Does that clarify things?
Yes, repeat that.
Sure, no problem. The FCC is an independent agency, so they answer to Congress, not the president or another department. Congress oversees them and handles their money. The president appoints the people who lead it, but the Senate has to approve them, and they're supposed to act independently. Got it?
Yeah, absolutely. What changes have been made to the FCC since 1934?
The biggest changes have been how it adapts to new technology. Over time, its focus has expanded from just radio and telephone to include television, cable, and satellite. A major shift was the Telecommunications Act of 1996, which was all about promoting competition and reducing regulations, especially for phone and cable companies. And of course, they're constantly dealing with internet regulations and broadband access now. Is there a specific technology you're wondering about?
Yeah, what's net neutrality?
Net neutrality basically means all internet traffic should be treated equally. So your internet service provider can't slow down websites you like or speed them up because they're paid to do so, or block legal content. The rules have flipped around a bunch over the years with different administrations, and right now whether you have those protections really depends on where you live, because some states have their own laws. Does that make sense?
Isn't the FCC a federal thing? So how does state-based power interfere with that?
You're right, the FCC is federal, so it sets the baseline for the country. The reason states can step in is usually when there aren't strong federal rules, or if the federal level decides not to regulate something. States can basically pass their own stricter laws to protect their residents, as long as those laws don't contradict or get overridden by federal law. Does that make sense how they work together?
So they can, just really quick. So if a federal law is introduced, state-based laws can enforce a stricter version of that law, but not necessarily unenforce a less regulated version.
That's basically right. They can make the rules tougher, but they can't make them easier on companies than the federal minimum. It's about providing an extra layer of protection, not taking any away.
That's interesting. All right. Is there any opposition to net neutrality?
Definitely. The biggest opposition comes from internet service providers and some policy groups. They argue that net neutrality regulations stifle innovation and discourage them from investing in better infrastructure because they can't charge premium rates for faster service to recover costs. They also contend that the rules are just unnecessary government overreach. Anything specific about their arguments you want to dig into?
Yeah, I'm just curious how they think it doesn't. Hold on. What was the first part of your statement?
Oh yeah, I said they argue that net neutrality rules stifle innovation and discourage them from investing in better infrastructure. Was there something specific about that you were curious about?
Yeah, what are the details of that argument? Like, what is not promoting infrastructure, or what the fuck was the first part of that? What are the details of this argument, right?
They think that building and maintaining those big networks costs a lot of money. Without net neutrality, they could, for example, charge big companies like Netflix more to deliver their streaming video faster. They claim that extra revenue would be what incentivizes them to keep improving the network. If they can't charge those fees, they say there's less motivation to upgrade, which could slow down better internet speeds for everyone overall. Does that make their argument clear?
What do you think of that argument?
Well, both sides have points. The ISPs are definitely right that investing in faster networks takes serious cash, and they want to know they'll get a good return on that. On the other hand, people who support net neutrality say that if you let providers charge big companies for faster service, those companies might pass those costs on to us, the consumers. Plus, it could limit which websites or services we can access comfortably and make it harder for smaller, newer businesses to compete. It's really a debate about what kind of internet we want to have. Does that breakdown clarify things? Or would you like to talk about
so let's say like when Netflix pay Mediacom X amount of money for more bandwidth, or who's paying who for bandwidth?
That's an interesting distinction. In those cases, it's usually Netflix or other content providers paying the internet service providers, like Comcast or Mediacom. They're paying to connect directly to their networks, essentially building a faster, less congested private link, so their content gets to you quicker and without delays. It's not quite the same as paying for priority traffic itself, more like paying for a faster off-ramp on the internet highway. Does that make sense?
Yeah, is anything like that currently in place?
Yes, direct interconnection agreements are definitely still around. Large content providers like Netflix or Google often pay internet service providers to have that direct private link for smoother delivery. It's pretty standard practice now for handling those huge amounts of traffic. Anything specific you're thinking about regarding them?
Wouldn't it be more logical to either charge per the amount of data being transferred, the amount of traffic, versus just companies shelling out money to ISPs? And why is that even a thing? Wouldn't a company just sign a contract with an ISP to have in a consumer, right? You have somebody come to your house, you call Mediacom. They send a technician to your house. they run a cable from the street to your house, right? Do they not do the same thing for these companies? Or how does that work?
You're hitting on a major debate in internet economics. The reason companies like Netflix pay ISPs for direct connections is about managing congestion. When you have a huge amount of data flowing from one network to another, those bottlenecks can happen where they connect. By paying for a dedicated link, they bypass those potentially crowded public pathways. It's less about just buying data and more about paying for a private, uncongested road to deliver their content quickly. Does that concept make sense?
And so they argue, so the argument against net neutrality is that the companies, so Netflix would end up charging more money for their subscription service because they have to pay more money to the ISP.
Exactly. The argument against net neutrality is that providers might not invest in better networks if they can't charge premium fees for heavier traffic. Without those fees, they say there's less incentive to expand capacity, which could slow down internet speeds for everyone overall. It's really a debate about what kind of internet we want to have. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. It sounds like really illogical and stupid. But my next point is, hold on, what the fuck was I just gonna say? Give me 1 second.
No problem. Take your time. Whenever you're ready to jump back in, I'm here.
That doesn't make any sense either fucking way. Shouldn't the ISPs be, upgrading and, developing new, research and development, developing new ways to improve infrastructure, obviously new ways to create faster speeds. I don't know exactly how networking works. I'm a little behind on that, but don't they have an R&D department regardless? Why would... It sounds like a lot of bullshit. It sounds like both sides are honestly just bullshitting. And they're just trying to, shareholders are just trying to, yet again, squeeze more profit out of everything they can. We need to dick shareholders down. We need to pass laws and policies that will tax people for potential energy. If you're sitting on cash, that is potential energy. And that potential energy could be making the world a better place, But you want to spend it on hookers and blow, and you don't even treat the hooker with respect, and you rip your dude off, and you're a piece of shit. You should get shot. I hate shareholders. I don't know a single one that actually does or says anything useful. Because all of these fucking companies, right? All of these publicly traded, right? Publicly traded companies. They all answer to the board of shareholders. And let's find out. Let's see what they do. Let's see what... I have some questions about publicly traded companies. Give me a breakdown on what makes a company publicly traded.
Sure. A publicly traded company is one that has sold shares of itself to the public, usually through an initial public offering, or IPO. After that, its stock can be traded on public stock markets like the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. Because of this, they have to regularly disclose financial information and business details to the public through the SEC. Is that clear, or would you like to know about the rules they have to follow?
No, that's fine. How many, do you know what percentage of businesses that are publicly traded companies? SEC, that's next on my list.
You want to talk about the Securities and Exchange Commission?
No. Repeat what you were just about to say before I interrupted you.
Got it. I was just saying that you might be surprised, but the percentage of businesses that are publicly traded is actually quite small. There are millions of businesses in the US, but only about 4,000 or so are listed on major stock exchanges. Were you expecting a bigger number?
No, not so much. When I sit here and think about, like places I've worked or, local businesses and such. Okay, so, but let's see, how much GDP and how much not direct to consumer, but how much consumer income is spent on these publicly traded companies?
That's a tough question to answer exactly, because while they aren't the majority in number, publicly traded companies are some of the biggest ones out there, like Walmart, Amazon, and Apple. They employ a large percentage of people and generate a huge portion of the economic activity in the US, so consumer spending on them is quite high. Are you thinking about specific industries or more of a general view?
More of a general view. I'm just curious to know, how much income, a person makes is spent on average at these companies, right? I feel like we should have information on that.
That's a great point. That's a tricky number to pin down because government surveys track spending on categories like food or housing, not specifically whether the company is public or private. However, many of the biggest brands we all use are public, so it's likely a significant portion of most households' income. Is there a reason you're interested in that specific comparison?
Not so much a comparison. I just want to know, I'm sure there should be a statistic out there of total gross income for the country, right? And then I want to know how much of that income is spent at publicly traded companies.
You're right. There is a statistic for the total gross income, the gross domestic product, or GDP. But tracking exactly how much of that goes to public companies gets difficult because economics data measure spending differently. Think about it. You buy something from Target, which is public, but that product might have been made by a private company. It's really interwoven. Does that make the challenge clearer, or is there something specific you were hoping to figure out with that number?
Can you ballpark, a percentage of that number?
While it's hard to give an exact percentage because of how the data is collected, you could ballpark it that they account for a huge chunk, possibly around half or even more of the overall economic activity. They may be fewer in number, but those companies are massive. Does that give you a better sense of their impact?
Yeah, so you would, would it be fair to state that 50% of our GDP comes from these publicly traded companies?
To say it's precisely 50% would be a guess, since we don't have an exact number. But considering their size and influence, they definitely contribute a really large share. Private businesses are still a major part of the economy too, Does that distinction make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. What are positions at the top of these publicly traded companies?
Typically, you'd find positions like the chief executive officer or CEO, who's in charge of everything. Then there's the chief financial officer or CFO, and the chief operating officer or COO. They report to a board of directors, which oversees the company's strategy and represents the shareholders. Are you interested in a particular title or what they do?
Yeah, board of directors. What do they do?
Think of them as the company's main bosses. Their biggest job is overseeing the big picture, setting the long-term goals, and making sure the company's being run responsibly. They also hire and fire the CEO and vote on important decisions, like mergers or large investments. Essentially, they represent the shareholders' interests. Anything specific about their process you're curious about?
Yes. Who are these shareholders, and how do they become shareholders?
Shareholders are anyone who owns shares in the company. That means people, other companies, or even investment funds that have bought stock on the stock market. They become shareholders by buying those shares, either when the company first goes public or later from other investors on exchanges like NASDAQ. Does that make sense?
Yeah, is it just shares and stocks, or are there any other form of investments people can partake in?
Oh, there are definitely other options. Besides stocks, you can invest in bonds, which are like lending money to a company or government. There are mutual funds or ETFs, where you pool money with other people to buy a mix of investments. You could also get into real estate, commodities like gold, or even private equity. Are any of those making you curious about how they work?
Yeah, or like, do all of those apply to these publicly traded companies, or are those just like other investing options?
Those are generally separate investing options.
Okay.
Publicly traded companies are specifically about stocks, owning pieces of those companies. Things like bonds, mutual funds, or real estate are other ways to manage your money, even if some, like mutual funds, might hold some stocks within them. Does that clarify the difference, or is there something specific you're still wondering about?
Yes. You said the board of directors reports to the shareholders. How's that done? What is their line of communication?
They mainly communicate through annual reports and meetings. The report details the company's performance and financials, while the annual meeting is where shareholders can vote on things and ask the board questions directly. They might also put out press releases or updates on their website for major news. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are the names of shareholders public information?
Generally, not really. While companies have to disclose large shareholders or institutional investors in their filings, the names of all individual shareholders are typically kept private. Most of that information is managed by third parties like transfer agents. Were you curious about a specific reason for needing that information?
Yes, because I believe that publicly traded companies and shareholders are the foundation of the literal garbage. But my question is, what's a transfer company?
A transfer company or transfer agent is basically the record keeper for a company's shareholders. They keep track of who owns what shares, handle share transfers, pay dividends, and make sure communication gets to them. They're like the administrative backbone for that part of the business. Anything specific you'd like to know about their responsibilities?
Yeah, how do they interact with like the NASDAQ?
Well, when shares are traded on exchanges like NASDAQ, the transfer agent is the master record keeper. When a buy and sell happen, the brokers handle the transaction, but the transfer agent updates the official records to show who now owns those shares. They make sure the ownership data is always accurate, which is crucial for trades to settle properly. Does that make the connection clearer?
Yeah, insider trading, where's that done?
Insider trading doesn't happen in a specific location. It's more about the action. It occurs when someone trades stocks based on confidential information that hasn't been released to the public, like knowing about an upcoming merger or bad financial results. The trade could be made on any stock exchange like NASDAQ, but it's the misuse of private information that's illegal. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. How does this private information get leaked?
That can happen in a few ways. Sometimes it's intentional, like an executive giving a tip to a friend or family member before an announcement. Other times it's accidental, like sensitive documents being left on a printer or information slipped in a conversation. There can also be data breaches or hacking. Does that make sense?
So I can't help but wonder, you know, are these shareholders, you know, like, do they have not government, you know, college degrees in economics, social issues, you know, or, you know, macro/micro economics, and or like, you know, perhaps like civil engineering or any sort of trade schooling, you know, or are they just people with money with no experience or knowledge? I'm really curious. Because to me, that sounds like a really dumb system. Because, how would that work, right? Why are the people at the top, right, the least intelligent? I could be wrong, you know, I could be wrong, but why then are people receiving less wages, you're getting a shittier product, there's less R&D, there's all this bullshit policy? Like, a company, especially, you know, a US-based company, right, should be paying its employees a lot. Would that not increase the GDP? By a lot, especially by these companies. That's 50%. 50% of all money spent in America goes to these companies. I could be wrong, you know, my numbers might be off. I'm trusting Gemini here to provide me with, you know, information. I have not done my research, but, and I could be wrong, you know, and if I'm wrong, it is what it is, right? You know, I'll take the L. But I have a weird feeling that the majority of these shareholders are not very intelligent. They're greedy and they're stupid. And, I just want what's best for the human race as a whole. You know, every single person on this planet is important. Every single person here has an infinite amount of possibilities within them. And to limit those possibilities, to me, is just deplorable behavior, you know. So what? You know, you can send your kid to school, and then you're like a shitty parent anyways, so he ends up ODing, you know, crashing his Audi into a brick wall, right? Because he drank like 2 bottles of Hennessy and got all coked out, and the stripper was trying to give him a blowjob, but, you know, shit got fucked up, so now they're dead. Now you're sad. That's a bad example. Let me come up with a better one. Alright, so you're a shareholder, right? You're a big shareholder. Because I imagine most people like me, right? If I was to go to the bank or an investment company, you know, get a couple stocks, right? I imagine my voice wouldn't be very, you know, how would I describe it? You know, like the big players, right? With a large amount of shares within this company, right? I own 50% of this company, right? You own 50% of my nutsack, motherfucker, I swear to God. Are you acting in the best interest of America, of the world, of this company? Or are you just trying to squeeze more money out of it? You know, are you taking advantage of your position? And when you invest in a company, honestly, I don't think you should ever get a return. I think your investment should be paid, you know, by people, A, buying your product, right? You're paying your wages more, you're giving them healthcare, you're creating more opportunity for the entire world, right? You know, maybe in the long term, right? When the company starts, you know, just getting shit and money, right? Because you actually created a good product. You have, you know, a good reputation. People talk well of you. People think well of you, right? All of a sudden, that company is going to blossom, right? Then you'll make money. But trying to marginalize everything, you know, squeeze out a bit here, squeeze out a bit there, you create a culture of toxicity. Toxicity. It's gross. It's also the name of a System of a Down album. But, you know, when I started my first job at Quiznos, when I was 17, 18, they handed me a rule book, not a rule book, like a handbook, right? And it said, don't be toxic. I think it said promote, you know, a positive and healthy work environment, but I always kind of took it as don't be toxic, right? And that's something I've always kind of like lived my life by, you know, it's just don't be toxic. And you may not even know you're acting, you know, in such a manner. Learned behavior, perhaps, right? You're just doing what you thought was right. You should rethink, you know, rethink your thoughts, rethink your plans. Because, you know, all life is connected. All is one. Don't you want to be, you know, known as a good guy? Or do you want to be a piece of shit? I don't know, you're probably not even a bad person, you know, these people, I'm probably just being triggered, you know, I do that a lot, I get real triggered real quick. I was reading something on the FCC and I ended up, you know, tangenting into something else, but I digress. Let us digress, right? People should be less toxic. People should be less greedy. If you have a lot of money, you should be investing your money. If you want a return on your money, go be a drug dealer. Because of the, you know, for a company to flourish, you know, it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Gemini, shut the hell up.
That's true. Building a successful company definitely takes time and effort. Were there any particular companies you were thinking about?
Yeah, all of them at the same time. Anyways, I'm really hungry. I'm kind of tired. I got the next 2 days off. I'm pretty excited. We will come back to this conversation. I want to do some research on these shareholders, you know. I could be wrong, you know. Maybe they're incredibly intelligent. Maybe they know exactly what they're doing. Maybe they're just investment companies, right? You know, I'm sure there's like financial, what are they called? Financial agents or something that invest people's money for them, right? I wouldn't know. You know, I gotta do a little more research, but I really don't like the idea that a company is being less than operating, you know, essentially with like a handicap. They're operating with a fucking handicap, you know. Instead of being able to pay employees more, create a better product, you know, have better service, and offer more, you know, to the world. They're getting hamstringed by these people. Or maybe they're more like institutions or other companies, you know. I'm not 100%. I will find out though, and I will learn. And I will increase the knowledge I possess. Because I like to be a well-informed, cultured citizen of the United States of America. My name's Jacob Owens. Have a good night. Signing out.